What's up, Commanders fans? This is something I would never, ever see coming, right? And the reason is because this is coming from a person that I feel has been a Commander for a very long time and should be a Commander for a very long time, right? So I've seen him act in this way when it was time for him to get paid. And this was during an era where it was already terrible. But out of this mess he was in, he was able to be great. And this person I'm talking about is Terry McLaurin, right? So right now, before, when I first looked at this situation, I thought, okay, cool. He's just waiting to get paid. And then also, I had a lot of feelings towards Adam Peters saying that Terry McLaurin was going to be a Commander for a long time. I'm butchering what he said, but basically he wanted to have him here until he basically retires, right? So that's something I felt like should be a no-brainer, seeing that he got us into the playoffs. He played his ass off in every playoff game, had a touchdown in each one, and we are hesitating on his payment. I mean, shit. My man should have a contract ASAPity. Like, this is his last year on his contract. And, of course, I can see him playing into his early 30s, right? And I feel like he should get an extension, at least a 3-year extension on what he already has right now, seeing that he has one more year. And I feel like Terry has it in him. I feel like Terry is going to be our Mike Evans. And I feel like this is one of them contracts that should have been paid before Deebo Samuel got here, right? And the way I've been seeing Deebo Samuel get cooked by a rookie, I'm starting to feel like I'm feeling a little disconnected from this team right now, because I'm like, what is going on? Terry, and just the fact that Deebo's getting cooked by Trey Amos is more of a reason why we need to sign Terry. Terry need to be there on every rep. And, of course, we heard rumors that he was there and he left early, and then his agent came out and spoke about him being frustrated, which elevated the situation, right? So we already knew that he wanted to get paid, and, Adam Peters poured a little bit of water on the smoke, right? Because of the smoke that he let out because of how hard he played in the playoffs. It's like, right now, we shouldn't be doing anything but paying my mans. Practice should be on hold. Nobody should be practicing without Terry McLaurin until my boy get paid. We should all petition. We should all be out there standing in front of the facility, holding up picket signs saying, pay my boy Terry McLaurin. Because if he's not there come next week, June 10th, it's a problem. And I know, like, I don't know exactly how they do things in the office and how they come up with these numbers and how they come up with what the time frames they decide to pay people. But this is Terry. Like, this is the whole franchise. If he's not there, fans are gonna be distraught. Like, we gonna be pissed. This team is not gonna function well without Terry. We brought Deebo there because of Jaden, and Jaden was already doing great because of Terry and Zach Ertz. So we brought back Zach Ertz. We brought back Noah Brown. We brought Deebo Samuel. For what? Why do we not sign Terry? Like, sign the man, bruh. What's the hold up? Like, what are y'all waiting for? A certain day, a certain time? I just don't understand it, bruh. Because this is one of those guys that he's making it happen, no matter who's throwing him the ball. And he broke a record last season for the most touchdowns in a season for a wide receiver for the Commanders and the Redskins. So what are we doing? And then I'm like, if Terry does not sign, you can already see that he's holding out. Now, if he doesn't show up for mandatory training camp, I know he's willing to miss games, right? And this is some of the things and some of the risk you have to take because you're getting older. So I don't blame Terry. This is something that he should do. He's getting older, so you need that money. You need that new contract. And this is going to be his last contract. And I hear rumors that, the Chargers may want him. They're willing to put up something for him. But you got to be out your mind that we're going to think we're going to make it back to the NFC Championship without the most important person. So this is stupid. And if we don't have Terry going into this season, we're going to regress. Even if, and I'd rather you guys pay him, I'd rather the Commanders pay him right now so he can be there for every single thing that's going on and he can be working with Jaden and build on what they built last year. So work on what they worked last year and go even beyond that. So these guys got to learn each other on a whole different level. Of course, Deebo got to learn too, but this is terrible for this offense. So we went from a C last year to an A. And then now we just went back to a C. If Terry ain't there. So, and the purpose of Deebo was supposed to help Terry in a way. And it was supposed to lighten the load for Terry. So it wouldn't be so much of a target on his back. Then you brought in Jalen Lane, was supposed to help Deebo and Terry. You know what I'm saying? So it was just supposed to allow this offense to flourish. It's not going to flourish if Terry ain't there. And then on top of that, this should be the most important topic that we talk about every single day until this man get paid. I know people tired of it, but I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of people thinking they're going to get Terry McLaurin in a trade. You got to be out your mind. I'm trying to see my man get paid. So not only on our offense do we have a problem because Terry is not signed, but also we have a problem on our defense. We have a problem on our offensive line. We have Marshon Lattimore, who's done this before. So this is something that people wrote about in articles and talked about how he's done it with the Saints before and he's missed these times in the offseason. But that's still not making me feel comfortable. You with a whole new team. You got to prove yourself. You should be here right now. So is this about money? I bet it is. I don't believe he's just doing this because this is what he's done before. No, it's about money, bro. He's getting old too. He's close to 30. So, of course, it's different for Marshon Lattimore because over the last few years, even with the Saints, he hasn't been good. And him coming here last year and only playing 2 games in a regular season wasn't enough for us to trust him. I don't trust Marshon Lattimore. So if I don't trust him, he should be in the offseason. Everything. OTAs, voluntary or not, be there. And then he should be in the mandatory portion. Y'all heard me struggle with that. Mandatory portion. And then Laremy Tunsil, he's a dog. He's been going off for these last few years. So I'm not scared that he's not there. But I know he's getting paid no matter what because we just gave up 4 draft picks for this man. Right? We're paying him. He's getting paid. So it's no problem. I'm not worried about him. And Marshon has to get his act together. His ass need to be there. I understand he may be trying to hold out and just, train on his own for right now just so he don't get injured or re-injure anything or moving at a faster pace because he's dealing with, when in this time in the offseason, you're dealing with a lot of rookies, a lot of guys that want to prove themselves and really go out on the edge and really risk it all. And maybe Marshon, maybe not really Laremy, but Marshon, for example, is really doing this because he either doesn't want to get re-injured because he's playing against people that really want a job versus him who has a job and is just trying to keep it, or it's about money and he's not really trusting his body that much to where he feels like he may need a deal or something restructured so he can feel like he can do something this year. So I don't see us right now giving him no more than a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal where we give him all the guaranteed money in 1 year. I can see that. But right now, no, it's not likely that I see him getting paid any more than that, because right now we're trying to figure out what you are, who you are. And then us getting Trey Amos and us bringing back Noah Igbenogany and us having Mike Sainristil and us bringing in Jonathan Jones, who's obviously 31 right now. He's going to be 32 in September, but he's going to be old, right? He's one of those guys that, hey, he get the job done. He's healthy and he's not showing any problems. I don't need a big name if the big name person ain't getting the job done or can't stay on the field because of injuries. That's the name of the game. But it's like, out of all the people, I did a poll. I was talking about, like, do you see Laremy Tunsil, Terry McLaurin, or do you see Marshon Lattimore being out if it came down to only 2 people getting the deal? And I said, to myself, I said Marshon Lattimore can go. A lot of people feel the same way. But he's not showing me anything to where, okay, I can, be confident in him getting paid or staying here for long term. So, and Trey Amos has been locking down Deebo Samuel. So that's another reason why he may be shooting up the charts. So, and that's another thing. Like, people don't understand. This time is a lot for a lot of people, right? Because, one, you can use this voluntary time to, work on your skills and really earn a spot. Or you can relax or, do things in your own way right now, because you've been playing football for so long, some of these guys, to where they just want to feel normal, use this time to use it for family, work on their own, not work as much, really get some of that time back. I get it. And then sometimes it's about contracts, especially when these guys are getting older. And Terry's an old guy, and I feel like Terry's going to get 30+ million, but it's the fact that he's old that's really creating this holdup. Like, if he was 28 right now, he would definitely get this money without a doubt. But the fact that he's close to get on his way out, he's on his way out, really. And I think that's most of the holdup. But I think he can pull it off, man. He's done it so many times, and he's going to continue to keep doing it. I don't know where this offense and this defense is going to go, but if these guys don't show up next week, on the 10th, we're going to have a major problem. Let me know how y'all feel about the team. Do you feel like we're going to regress? Do you feel like it's really a necessity for Marshon Lattimore to be there? Or do you feel like we good with Jonathan Jones, Mike Sainristil, Noah Igbenogany, and Trey Amos? Do you feel like Trey Amos is going to get that starting role? And on the outside, Mike Sainristil going to be back in the inside where he's comfortable, where he's most comfortable at? Or do you feel like he's going to be on the outside? Or how do you feel like this defense on the cornerback position is going to be, or do you think Noah Igbenogany is going to be on the outside, or Jonathan Jones is going to be on the outside? Just let me know how y'all feel about it. What do you think the lineup is going to be? And I've been seeing Brandon Coleman, take some snaps at left tackle, but that's only because Laremy is not there. That's the only reason why. You want to get him comfortable everywhere just to see where he fits in. But they're just trying to show in ways that, when guys ain't there, what are you going to do in that position? Because it may be some times where Laremy ain't there. Maybe some times where Marshon ain't there. We really can't expect a lot from Marshon, really. But Terry, you can expect a lot. As long as he's healthy and what he's been over the last few years, he's shown that no matter what, I'm going to be there. And, of course, Terry probably hasn't been the healthiest. But does he show that? No. Does he always make it to a game? Yes. So I love that about Terry, and I just think he has a long career left with the Commanders, and I think they need to pay him, and I think he's worth it. And I know I'm rapping, but I just have to tell y'all this last thing. I'm out.